Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And today we will be talking about the three topics, and it is our actually the third day of our 8 days Python playlist for data science. And today we will talk about the list, the tuples, and the conditional statements. So the request is to there is a request to you, so subscribe my channel to hit on the bell icon. And the second thing is I want to thanks all of you because you have supported me a lot uh, by subscribing my channel and by liking this video and also by watching this video. So I will also expect these things from you in the future. So let's start the agenda. The agenda is first of all we'll talk about the list. List is just like an n container which has been closed with a square brackets, and it can store multiple values of multiple data types. It is one of the commonly used data type in Python. For example, I will create it by the name of li, and here I will store 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, the operations, the element are accessed by using the index starting with 0, and list are mutable, which means we can edit the list, meaning their elements can be changed after creation. Yes, the same thing I was doing. It's actually a list, and we can also store a string here. We can store a boolean. We can store a float here, 16.7, and we can also store a string which is aky. Now I want to get some element from the string. So for this purpose I will use the index. Okay, so uh, here what I will do, index always start from 0, so I want to take here the 7. So I will go 1, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If I click on 6, I will get 7. uh, Now I want to take the multiple list. Multiple list means I want to take the multiple values. For accessing single values, we can use this thing. For accessing single value in a list, for example, I want to access the value from 1 to true. So here what I will do, I will first of all put the initial index is 0 because we will start from the 0. And here when we reach there it was 6, 7. So I want to access the value till 7th index. And whenever we are doing a slicing, the end number will always be one more than the number which you want to get. For example, I want to get the 7th index, so I will put it here 8, and here I will get all these things. So it is actually used for the multi indexing. Apart from this, we can also replace the values in a list. For example, at the place of the 1, I want to put 0. So what should I do? I will first of all li, and here I will li dot. I will post. I will wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, we have a function called extend, count, append. I think we can't replace any value in the list. We need to remove them, and then we perform the function. I actually forget about the thing. Now, to clear any list, to clean any list, you need to use the clear. For clearing the list, for clearing the list, we need to put here li dot clear. Now, if I click on li, then my list will be clear. There will be no elements in my list. Now, let's create a new list here. One. Here I will talk AKY, and also I will go with 2, 5, 6. Now, what type of operations, some more operations we can perform on the list. First of all, we can add the value li dot append. We can add the value by using this thing. For example, which value I want to add? I want to add 7 here. If I click on 7 and I print li, then it will actually give me the 7 here. Okay. So after that, we can also make some multiple elements li dot extend. We can add a list into a list. So here I which element I want to put it here, 2, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now if I click here, I have actually added some multiple values in a list. Okay, here we can do all that thing. Now that was actually adding an element. Now what if I want to add the element? Wait a second, I will also do comments. adding multiple multiple elements into a list. Okay. Now what if I will also comment this adding an element to a list. Okay, I will also comment this thing. Now comments are very important when it comes to the code readability, and I will always encourage you to use that sort of thing. Now, what type of more operation we can perform with the list? So here I have done adding, I have done removing, but the main thing is which I actually forget. I will tell you when you want to insert an element in your desired location. So for this purpose, what we will do, first of all, you use that insert function. Where do you want to insert an element? I want to insert at zero index. And which element I want to insert? I want to insert AKY11. If I click here, it will be inserted. So I will comment it adding an element to your desired location. Okay. So here you can see I have added my element to my desired location. You know how the list with that thing you can come to know that that how the list is powerful. How in the sense that I'm little bit weak in English, so I have you understand because I have very in Hindi we can say tutti putti English. So okay, but I will try to keep the things simple so that you can understand what I'm talking about. So now you know the power of a list. Let's try to do some more functions. What if I remove something from the list? So for this purpose I will use li dot remove, and I will put the thing which I want to remove. I want to remove the uh, one is not in the list. Why one is not in the list? Okay, it's not a string, it's an integer, so it will be removed here. Now after that we can also use the count function to count an elements in a list. Wait a second. Count li. Oh, sorry, I forget li dot count. I want to count how many time an element is repeated in a list. So for this I will pass the two, and it will tell me that two has been repeated two times. And I will here to remove something. I will write to remove something, and here I will write to check how many time how many time a particular element repeated in a list. After that we can also do some more functions. We can use the pop to remove the last element from the list. If I click here, the last element will be removed. After that we can I will use the len function hashtag to remove the last function in a list. I will click here length li, so it will give me the length of a list. And apart from this, when you click here dot tab, then it will actually you will see a lot of things. You can also use the sort function to sort in a list. You can copy the list, you can extend the list, you can use the sort function here. So to sort any list, now why it has not been sorting? Because in the list I have multiple data type. If I have numbers, then it will actually sort them. So for this purpose I will create a new list here, and I will pass number, then it will sort these numbers. For example, if I put here 0 and I put here, so it will sort it in a ascending order. Okay. So this was all about from the list. Now let's move forward and talk about what are actually the condition statements. Okay, condition statements are actually used when we have a multiple conditions. When we have some when we want to represent an output, when we want to print an output based on some sort of condition. For example, I have a list which contains some emails. I want to check if my emails in a list or not. So for this purpose, I will use a condition if it's find in the list. So you can print it. If not, then don't print it. For example, let's stop. Let's try to create a list. So in the list, we will add AKY. We will use 1 2. We will use 1 3. These are actually the strings. So I will put a condition here. The first is the if condition. If means if our value is true, if our condition is true, then our print our if parenthesis the statement under the if statement will be executed. Otherwise, is not. For example, if if aky if aky in list, which means that if aky y is found in the list, we'll have to print yes. It will print yes. What if I do if ak is present? Then it will not print yes because our condition is has been false here and it will not print the yes. So what does it do? Our if condition, first of all, it will iterate through the whole list. Iterate means it will check the whole list, and it will check the whole list. It will find out if ak is in a list. If it's in a list, then execute the above statement. Otherwise, we can also add the else statement. The else statement will be a statement when we have a condition or which is false. So else statement is the otherwise statement. So if this is wrong, then you can print the else statement. Let's try to do some another example. For example, if x is greater than 4, print greater, print greater, else print small. And here I will initialize the x value. I will initialize the x value as 4. So it will take it is that it's a small. Okay. I will make a condition small or, so I will make it small or equal because we only talked about that in that sort of scenario that if it's greater than 4. So here I will for example, if it is 6, and it will take greater, it will print me a greater. So so in this way you can see that if condition work based on a condition. So what if I want to make a multiple condition? For example, I have a student which have percentage 90, which have percentage 90, and I will want to consider if student percentage, which is a variable, it's greater than 70. So I will print pass. Elif if student ration is less than 70, I will print it. I will print it not passed. So it is actually the second condition we have, or else record not found. Or we can I have made the dummy equation here because record not found doesn't make sense here, but I have made it a dummy equation just to understand you. So here it will tell me that it's passed. What if I change the value into 50? It will actually tell me not passed. If that condition, first of all, it will check this condition. If this condition is right, then it will print this thing. It will exit our from our program. If that is not right, it will move toward this thing. If this is not right, it will move toward this thing. What if I put here 70? It will say record not found. Okay. So basically, if condition work based on the condition here. So basically, if work on if conditional statement based on work on based on the condition. So let's talk about the third thing, which is the final thing, and I need to wind up this video as soon as possible. So we have a tuples. It is actually closed on the parenthesis, and this is the immutable data type. For example, I have created that data type. Now it has not been, you can say, it has not been edited. We can the same use the index here in order to get the data. For example, at 0 I will get this data. We can use the same index as we use in the list. For example, I want to take the first three elements, so for this purpose I will take here this thing. And apart from this, we can also check where any number it is found in a tuple or not, or how many time it is found. Apart from this, we can also get the index of any number. For example, if I know the number, then I will also get the index. Okay. For getting index, or for counting the particular elements in a tuple. Okay. So at the end, I will also show you some another function which is called count and index. And apart from this, I think we don't have any sort of a function. So that was all from today's video. I want you to subscribe my channel, to hit on the bell icon, and to wait for my next video. So bye bye till now.